everyone, welcome back. I'm Helena Patience from Entreflow Consulting Group, and today I wanted to talk about Zapier, or is it Zapier? It's a Zap, so it should be Zapier, but some people call it Zapier, but we'll call it Zapier for today. Okay, so hi, I'm Helena Patience, and we're going to talk about Zapier today. I really love this tool. It's been around for a long time. It's very commonly used in other industries. It's kind of making its way into the accounting world now. And what I love about it is that it really changes the game that we can play in ecosystem support for our clients. So for a long time, people would go to the Quickbooks or Xero apps marketplaces and find apps that already integrate with Quickbooks or Xero as a way to provide operation support tools for clients where the data would flow beautifully. And that's awesome because integrations are great and data flow is awesome, and having to enter the same data in a number of different places is completely stupid. However, it really limited the apps that we can use based on which ones actually cared about integrating with accounting software. Well, Zapier has changed the name of the game there because we can now pick the best of breed tools out there that are not necessarily fintech related and have the data flow from those tools to our accounting software to make our lives and our workflows easier without caring about whether or not it actually integrates directly with QuickBooks. For me personally, integration is not the number one requirement in any any situation. Okay, there is always at the end of the day going to be the option to export data into CSV and upload it via CSV in some way, shape, or form. So the native integration between an app and QuickBooks or Xero is never the first requirement in my books. The requirements that the company needs fulfilled are always first and foremost, and they're never going to say integration, okay? So Zapier makes it really easy for us to get over that mild hurdle in an easy way to make sure that we don't have duplicate data entry. So how it works is you basically go check out Zapier. It's $25 a month to have Zaps going. So it's really cost effective, especially when you factor in this scenario, okay? So at Entreflow, we were looking at some CRM options for us a year and a half ago. And for me, I didn't want to have to put the same data into our CRM and then into our proposal system and then into QuickBooks. So we were looking at some of the options that are available on the App Store for the ones that connected directly with QuickBooks. They were expensive. They didn't do what we needed to do. They're basically glorified, content management, contact management, and we found them really clunky. Ian, my business partner, is a sales and marketing guy and has used all of the most amazing CRMs you can imagine out there, and his expectations for a CRM are really high. So that just wasn't going to work for us. So we were able to use HubSpot, and with the help of Zap, get the data flowing from HubSpot into Proposify that we use for our proposals, into QuickBooks for our accounting, and some other places too to help with our workflow. And that's just made our lives a lot easier, and we're able to use a best-of-breed CRM and still have the data flowing beautifully without having to manually enter data everywhere. So awesome. So just wanted to give you a quick sample there. And the nice thing is it's a heck of a lot cheaper than paying for the CRMs that do connect with QuickBooks Online, because we can use HubSpot for free. We've got a $25 a month Zapier subscription, and that covers the integration. And we use it for so much more than just that. Okay. So how it works is Zapier works on a trigger and action basis between two apps, okay? So you can take a look on the website and find, the two apps that you're working with that you would love to be working well together, okay? You take a look at the triggers that are available in either of the apps that will then create an action in the other app. So for instance, we have a trigger in HubSpot that when we add a new client to HubSpot, or a new contact to HubSpot, or a new contact is created in HubSpot, that triggers the action to recreate that contact in Proposify, our proposal system, so that when I go to create a proposal for somebody, their contact details are already in there. There's then a trigger and action also created so that when I create a deal in Proposify, so that's the trigger, it then creates a deal in HubSpot for me so that when I go into HubSpot, my CRM, I can see that deal in there and deal with the pipeline movement there. When the proposal is signed off on and accepted, it moves. There's again, a trigger is it's accepted. The action is it moves that deal into a deal 1 phase in HubSpot, and as well, that triggers a action to Quickbooks to create the contact in Quickbooks, so that if I need to go create an invoice right away or a sales receipt, and when I go into Quickbooks, it's all ready to go, which is pretty cool. A little caveat is that you might have a little bit of a time delay, so it's not instantaneous. It can take 15 minutes or so for the action to be complete. So you might just need to pause on the sales receipt for a couple of minutes and then go in and create it. Okay, so that's just one small application of what we do at Entreflow with Zapier and how it increases improves our workflow and decreases our time spent. And this is just some little tips on integrations of data to help with data flow between apps. But there's lots of other things that you can do. You can have triggers that'll basically send emails or other actions to people. So there's lots of different options. There's lots of different things you can do with it. I've seen some companies will have messages sent to Slack to notify teams when certain things happen, which is super handy as well. So it's good to take a look at your workflow and where you are doing a lot of manual work and see if there's a way that you can use a Zap to automate that. It really helps to automate your workflow as much as possible. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about Zapier for today. I hope you've enjoyed this segment. Take a look at Zapier. Just play around with it. There's lots of different options out there. Also good to play around with it with your team and ask your team about where they're maybe spending some time in places where they could automate the steps. So it's a good little conversation. Just get in there together, take a look at what kind of integrations are available, the triggers and actions that are available, and see if there's ways to tighten up your workflow. So that's all for me today. I'm Helena Patience from Entreflow Consulting Group, and as always, if you like what you see, please subscribe. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.